everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight, our guest is 21-year-old Isaiah Gadberry, a kidney patient, dialysis patient, and kidney transplant candidate. You may have seen his posts requesting a kidney donation and for all of us to share his need for a kidney. And by the way, they're beautiful, artful posts if you haven't seen them. Be sure you check it out. Isaiah and his twin sister, Anastasia, were born prematurely in 2002. His kidneys were underdeveloped. He was eventually diagnosed with kidney problems at the age of 1 and was sent to Arkansas Children's Hospital under the care of Dr. Ellis. In most cases, the baby's kidneys after such a birth mature quickly. Isaiah was not so lucky. He was put on peritoneal dialysis for the first time at the age of 5. The doctors had to surgically reconnect his bladder to his belly button so that he could use a catheter due to a kink in his urethra. I'm going to try and pronounce this. Appendico-vestigostomy is what that procedure is called. His mother and his sister helped to connect him for PD at night. Eventually, Isaiah was put on the transplants list and got the call at the age of 8. After the transplant, he was feeling much better. He could run and play with his siblings and went back to school. Unfortunately, by the time he was 14, his health began to decline. Isaiah had RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, pneumonia, and HMPV, human metapneumonia virus, which made his kidney function worsen. He was put back on peritoneal dialysis. When he was 17, he was placed on hemodialysis because he was having problems with the machine at home. At first, he liked the hemo because he was feeling a little better, but he developed mental health issues and eventually had problems with that machine as well. He was admitted to the hospital for 2 weeks, where he was diagnosed with uncommon bacteria on his hemo catheter. Eventually, he was put back on PD. He turned 18 in 2020, and unfortunately, despite his best efforts, caught COVID-19. He began to retain fluid and suffered from high blood pressure. He had a rough hospital stay and was unconscious for most of it. After his release, he was on home hemo for a while and then put back on PD. By the time he was 19, he had been on dialysis for 6 years, and it was time to be reevaluated again for a kidney transplant at the University of Arkansas for Medical Science. That's abbreviated capital UAMS. In November of 2021, he was placed on the active transplant list. He was placed near the top because of his time on dialysis. Since that time, Isaiah's had 2 kidney offers. The first was on April 4th, 2022, where the donor kidney was rejected, and a second on April 5th, 2023, where the kidney transplant did not take place at all. Isaiah is now 21 and is still looking for a kidney. He is listed at the University of Arkansas for Medical Science, UAMS. To test for Isaiah, there is an online link, http://apps.edu/capital living/donor/prescreen, or there's a phone number for the hospital, 501-686-8000. His transplant coordinator is Brad Swanson. The phone number there is 501-603-1207. Now, don't worry about those numbers and that information. That's going to stream across the broadcast on the banners. It's also in the comments to the original broadcast that's tied to the top of my Facebook page. So if you want to drill down a little bit on what's going on with Isaiah, you can find more information there. Please give a warm welcome to my friend, Isaiah Gadberry. Isaiah, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well, my friend. Doing well. did I state everything correctly in the introduction?
Everything sounded about right, other than the section where you said I was on home hemo for a while. That was hemo in clinic.
Okay, in-center dialysis. Okay.
Yes.
Please tell us a little bit about where you grew up, your education, and your employment experiences.
So I grew up here in Russellville, Arkansas. Was born here, and I've lived here my whole life. We've lived around a little bit in different towns, but always mainly in Russellville. So I went to school for a little bit when I was younger, but it was mostly homeschool due to my health. And as far as work experience goes, I haven't had a job yet just because of the dialysis. It's made it a little bit harder. So I hope to get there after a transplant.
All right. Talk to us a little bit about your family. I understand you have siblings and, of course, your twin sister.
Yes. So I have a twin sister and a younger brother.
Okay.
That's Anastasia and Elijah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Isaiah, what is your date of birth?
It's April 18th, 2002.
Okay, we want to make sure that kidney goes to the right Isaiah. April 18th, 2002?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. And where were you born?
Here in Russellville, Arkansas at St. Mary's.
All right. I understand that you were born prematurely. How much earlier than your due date were you born?
I believe it was 6 weeks.
Okay. And am I correct in saying that at the time of your birth, your kidneys were underdeveloped?
Yes, they were small.
Okay. My notes tell me that you began to have kidney problems by the time you were 1 year old. Is that correct?
Yes, so after we were born, we were taken to Children's Hospital and everything was fine. And it was around the time I was born that they found out that I had the issues.
Okay. You were placed in the care of a Dr. Ellis. Can you tell us what having her take care of you, what it meant to you?
So at first I was under the care of Dr. Ilias. He was my first doctor. And then I had gotten pretty sick and my mom, sorry. I was going to Children's Hospital in Dallas for a while. And then once we switched to Arkansas Children's Hospital, that's when I was under the care of Dr. Ellis.
Okay. At the age of 5, that's when you first were put on dialysis, peritoneal dialysis. Is that correct?
Yes.
Why PD? Why peritoneal?
I think that's just what they thought was best at the time. I don't remember too much from then because I was so young.
Okay. All right. My notes tell me that you had a surgery to connect your bladder to your belly button because you had a kink in your urethra. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So we were born premature and we were both small. Me and my sister both were very small. And I couldn't get the circumcision done until a little later. And there was complications, and that's where the kink came from. The kink in my urethra. That's what caused them to do the appendicovesicostomy.
Wow, you pronounced that very well.
Yeah.
All right, and this was done at Children's, is that correct?
Yes, Children's Hospital.
All right. I have a note. Your mom and your sister would hook you up every night to the PD machine. At this point in time, you were on peritoneal dialysis?
Yes, my sister was a lot farther ahead of me at that age, and she learned how to hook that machine up fairly early.
Okay. How is your sister's health currently?
She's in perfect health.
Excellent. Good. Did you have any kind of difficulties or issues at this time while you were on PD?
Not that I can remember, no.
Okay. I understand that at some point in time, you were put on the kidney transplant waiting list. Was this also at Children?
Yes.
Okay. And you had a kidney transplant at the age of 8. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I don't remember much from that time. I just remember I woke up one morning to my mom telling me we had to go to the hospital because they had a kidney for me. And we went up there. It was, I think we were there for maybe 2 weeks. And I'm trying to remember. So I just remember not being able to eat for the first 2 days before the procedure.
Okay.
But I was instantly feeling better after that kidney got put in.
All right. So you did well after transplant?
Oh, yeah. Really good recovery.
Okay. 6 years after your transplant at the age of 14, I understand that you began to have some issues with your health. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So it started as my health started declining. We noticed that my blood pressure was really high. I was retaining fluid really bad. I wasn't urinating. And one of my doctor's visits that we went to, they told us that it would be best to start dialysis again. And my health had been declining for a few months before that. When I still had the kidney, we had went into the hospital because I was sick. And we were there for 2 weeks trying to get rid of those infections that I had. The RSV, pneumonia, HMPV, all that. I was on 50 pills a day at that point. It was a lot of trial and error trying to get me back on track.
Okay. And after this checkup that you mentioned, you wrote me and you told me that you were bloated, you had not been eating, you had stopped urinating. Are those things true?
Yeah.
Okay, so you ended up back on dialysis at that point in time?
Yes.
Okay. You had a PD catheter placed at that point in time?
Yep.
A new one?
Yeah, so I'd had the kidney and I had no catheters in, nothing like that for the 6 years that I had my kidney. Other than, I don't think I had any feeding tubes between that time, but I did when I was younger.
Okay. I understand the recovery was kind of rough. Can you tell us about the recovery?
So it was a week after they placed the catheter that they had to go back in and make sure everything was correct. They thought that there was an issue internally. And I was just in a lot of pain. They had me on some strong pain meds. We were in the hospital for probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks, trying to make sure that I was okay to go home.
Okay.
It seems like that 2-3 week span is pretty common.
Right. I hear you repeating it over and over. After surgery, did you have issues hooking up to the PD machine?
No, I got used to it fairly quick. My mom
Okay.
helped me a lot at first to get used to hooking it up every night and measuring my fluid and everything like that.
Okay. And I understand that you had to measure everything that you drank.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a lot to get used to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Isaiah. Go ahead, Isaiah.
Sorry, that was a lot to get used to. Drinking, only a certain amount a day.
Okay. You got a few friends on here, Elizabeth Oldham and Bobby Reed, who are habitual viewers. Jameis McGee says you're a strong young man. And our good friend Kent Bressler from Kidney Solutions is wishing you well from the state of Texas.
Thank you.
So after 16 years, I understand Dr. Ellis retired and there was Dr. Crawford that took over your care?
Amazing man.
Okay. At the age of 17, I understand you went on hemodialysis for a while because you were having problems with the machine at home. Can you tell us about that?
So I don't remember exactly what caused me to need to go on hemo for the first time. It was just in their best interest. And at first I thought it was great, I was feeling good. I was able to drink a little bit more. And overall, it was a pretty good experience for the first month and a half that I was on hemo.
Okay.
It's just over time, it got worse. It was hard to get back and forth to the hospital 3-4 times a week. And the machine was making me tired every day. I was sleeping a lot. It was definitely a lot harder to get used to than the PD.
Okay. You were having some complications, mental health problems, bad chills. Would that be a fair thing for me to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, like my mental health slowly declined on hemo. It was a depressing time. Sitting in that chair 3 times a week can be hard on anyone.
Okay, you got a couple friends on here that want to say hi. Shannon Mulroy from Kidney Solutions wants to say hello. Donna Tissot just got on. Your friend Cody Allen Drake is listening, says you're a good friend. Lauren Necross is on, wishing you well. So you got a lot of folks to support you.
Yeah, sharing my story has definitely brought a lot of people in. I appreciate all the support.
That's excellent. You were eventually admitted after the hemodialysis episode. What happened over those 2 weeks?
So the issue that started happening is we were living in Little Rock at the time just to make the hemo back and forth a little bit easier. And on the machine, and then every night when I would be sleeping, I would wake up having really bad chills. I would have 4 or 5 blankets on and still be shivering really bad. And eventually, I just got admitted into the hospital to figure out what was going on. And like I said, I was in there for a good 2-3 weeks. They were poking and prodding at me. A bunch of different doctors coming in every day to test me and see what was going on. And I was getting so much blood work done to try and figure this issue out. And overall, towards the end of those 3 weeks, they found out that it was an uncommon bacteria. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was on the catheter itself. So every time I would go on hemo, it would flush that infection through my body.
Okay, what did they do for you?
They started me on an antibiotic for 2 years, and they replaced the catheter in my chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And did they have to put a new PD catheter back in?
At that point, I didn't have a PD catheter in. It was just a hemo catheter in my chest.
All right. Did they put a PD catheter back in at another point in time, somewhere further down the road?
Yes, because I told them that I wanted to go back on PD because of the issues I was having mentally. I just thought it would be best to go back to PD, and they scheduled the surgery later on.
Okay. And once you were back on PD, did this help to make you feel better?
A lot, yeah.
Okay. I understand that in 2020, at the age of 18, despite your best efforts, you're a guy that basically stayed home, social distance, that sort of thing. You caught COVID-19. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You started to retain fluid. Your blood pressure was really high. But you ended up at the ER. Can you tell us what happened?
So it started out, I had COVID, and it was like a bad cold for about a week that I had it. And then afterwards, it slowly declined. I was retaining more and more fluid every day. My blood pressure was getting worse every day. And my numbers, I wasn't pulling off any fluid every night on the machine. So there's on the PD machine, there's like an initial drain, and there's drains throughout the night. Everything that I was filling with on the machine, I wasn't pulling back off.
Okay. You ended up at the emergency room?
Yeah, so one night I was on the machine and I was trying to go to sleep, and I felt really bad. My chest was hurting, a lot of pressure, and I decided to go to the ER because I was feeling so bad. They kept me there overnight and then shipped me to Hot Springs because they couldn't. It wasn't in their cards to take care of me. So I went to Hot Springs and I was there for a day. And that's where I had lost consciousness and got shipped to Children's.
Okay. I understand your potassium is low. That's why you passed out?
So yeah, my potassium was low. That was an issue that I was having for a while, and the doctors there at Hot Springs thought that that's what was causing me to feel so bad. So they were giving me potassium through an IV.
Okay. You were then transferred to Children's, and I understand you passed out for 3 days?
So I lost consciousness in Hot Springs and woke up 3 days later in Children's. My mom tells me that I was kind of there and that I would respond to her and the doctors and everything. It was kind of a delayed response, though. I would talk to them about things that they had already discussed. And after I woke up, I had realized that I was in a completely different place than what I was.
Okay. I understand they put in a temporary hemocatheter to pull excess fluid. Is that correct?
Yes, they put me on a temporary chemo to get those 7 liters of fluid off that I was retaining.
That's a lot of fluid, 7 liters.
Yeah, that's a lot. It looks like I had put on about 20 pounds.
Wow.
But it was just fluid.
All right. My notes tell me that you felt fortunate. Can you explain why you felt fortunate?
I was lucky to make it out of that 100%. They had said that I could have developed a stutter. It's hard to talk about. I was lucky to have woken up in that hospital.
Okay.
It's not that I would have died. It's just that I wouldn't be all here. And that's why I consider myself lucky.
Okay. Okay. So you were on hemodialysis then for a few weeks and then back on PD, is that correct?
Yes. So they had me on hemo for a little over a month to keep the fluid down and give my peritoneum a break.
Okay. When you were 19, you were evaluated again for a kidney transplant. Is that right?
Yes.
And that was in November of 2021?
November of 2021 is when I got put on the transplant list.
Okay. So
it was about a 2-month process of getting evaluated.
Okay. Now, I understand that you had a couple of offers since the time that you were put back on a list. The first came in April of 2022. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
I remember that night I was brushing my teeth, getting ready to go to bed, and my phone rang. And they told me that they had a potential kidney offer for me. So me and my mom loaded the car up and went up to the hospital. That's where I met the man who gave me my dog.
Right. The Corky dog, right?
Yep.
All right. You made it all the way down to pre-op, didn't you?
Yeah, so they had me there all night. They did an X-ray, a CT scan, things like that, things they needed before the surgery. And the nurses thought I was all clear. You know, they were preparing me. I was in a hospital gown. They were ready to do the surgery. So they brought me down to pre-op and started prepping me for surgery. They had, I think it was like some sort of warm blanket or something, an electric blanket. And they were telling me everything that I needed to know before we went in for the surgery.
Okay. And what actually happened?
A nurse came in and told us that there was something with that kidney that wouldn't work in my body. Basically, if I would have gotten that kidney, my body would have rejected it instantly.
Okay. So that was not suitable for you for transplant?
No.
Okay. Your friend that sold you the dog, how did he make out?
He's great. I had prayed after I left the hospital that he would get the kidney. We had talked down in the X-ray area for probably like half an hour, just kind of got to know each other a little bit. He told me about his son. I told him about my brother and sister. And I just wanted him to get that kidney since I didn't. And he did, and he's doing great to this day.
Great. Tell us a little bit about this dog that you got.
So, like I said,
I the Corgi type dog.
I always wanted a Corgi. When I was younger, I used to watch this person online. And he had a Corgi dog, and ever since then, I always wanted one. And I seen on Facebook that the man I met at the hospital that night, he had Corgis for sale. So I reached out to him, and he gave me a great deal. I just couldn't afford it at the time. And one day, a few weeks later, my brother and mom wanted to take me on a trip out of town just to kind of get out of the house, you know. And we had stopped at a Walmart out of town to stretch our legs, get drinks, things like that. I seen him in the store, and we talked and caught up, We were going to leave the store when he called me over. He's like, hey, come over here. I wanted to get a picture with him. So when we were going to take the picture, he pulled my dog, out of the truck and was like, here you go. This is for you.
How about that? What's
It was
the dog?
a great experience.
What's the dog's name, Isaiah?
Her name is Lily.
Lily. Beautiful name.
She's a beautiful dog.
Okay. I understand that on April 5th, 2023, almost a year later, you received
exactly a year later.
You received a second kidney offer. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So they had called me the day before to tell me that there was a potential kidney offer for me, and that I was a few spaces behind. There was people ahead of me in line, and that they wanted to let me know, and that they would call me the next day if I was getting that kidney. They asked if I wanted to be told that same night, even if I wasn't. I told them, call me, tell me, anything. And then the next day they called and told me that it just wasn't going to work out at the time, and they had me in their hopes.
Okay. I understand that they thought that the donor was going to pass, and in fact, she did not pass. Is that what happened?
Yes, she's alive and well. And I just considered that, I just thought it was great that she's alive and well.
Good. I understand that you're doing some work trying to get the word out with our good friends, Kent Bressler and Shannon Mulroy from Kidney Solutions. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with those folks?
Yeah, so I started sharing my story about 2 months ago now on Facebook. And one day, the day after I got that second kidney call, I went and shared my story again, and Jonathan Traylor, one of the guys that you guys work with, he messaged me and gave me the number to call for Kidney Solutions. And I figured it couldn't hurt, so I called, and me and Kent talked for probably about 45 minutes. He told me what y'all do and how he wanted to help me. Great experience so far.
They sent you out flyers to put up in your community, that type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also on the website.
I'm glad you're having a good experience. They're real good people. You're in good hands there, Isaiah.
Yeah, I know I am.
Okay. Talk to us a little bit. You have a nephew that's in a similar situation to you.
So my twin sister gave birth to her son back in 2021. And he was born on my younger brother's birthday with the same health problems that I have. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, my nephew, his name is Valen. And yeah, he was born with kidney problems as well. But he's doing amazing so far.
And he's got you to mentor him a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do.
All right.
They echo on the phone too. Without them on the echo too.
Tell your mom that we can't hear it here in the recording. The recording's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that you're still continuing to seek a kidney transplant. And for those that would like to test for you, They can contact the hospital online. The link for that is scrolling across the screen now. https://apps.uams.edu.capital living/prescreen, and also your transplant coordinator's name, Brad Swanson, at 501-603-1207. And just so everybody understands, you're still seeking. You haven't found a kidney donor yet.
No, not yet.
Okay, but you're going to keep looking. I know you.
Absolutely.
All right. Do you wish to make any kind of a final statement tonight for our audience? Is there anything that you feel is important that you would like to say?
If anyone's in any kind of situation, health, just general life situation, just know that you can make it through as long as you stay strong and positive.
Okay. All right. Isaiah, I appreciate you coming on to talk to us tonight. You have an unusual kidney story. I've not had anybody on the broadcast quite like you with your story, and I just want to say thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing your story and raising awareness with us, pediatric kidney patients, different kind of issues than we're used to hearing about. And I want to wish you luck in your search. If at any time you ever have any questions or issues, you can always call your Uncle Jim or drop me a note. I'm happy to help out.
Thank you.
If in fact, you do receive a transplant sometime soon, I'd love to have you back on so you can tell us that story. Would that be cool with you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to let you go now. I have some announcements to make about upcoming guests and that sort of thing. I've taken a lot of your time, but I just want to say again, Isaiah, thank you. And what a remarkable kidney story. I'm very hopeful. I feel in my bones you're going to get that transplant very soon.
Thank you. And I appreciate you having me on the show.
No worries. Very happy to do it. You take care and have a good evening.
You too. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right. That's our show for tonight, folks. Appreciate you watching. Some upcoming guests on the 12th of May. Maria, I'm not going to try and pronounce this last name now. Girjalva is coming on the broadcast. She won the Celeste Award this year for the NKF. We're going to talk about her kidney journey and the things that she does for the National Kidney Foundation. On the 19th of May, we're going to talk with Cynthia Infante. She's a kidney patient. Was at the summit this year. That's where I met her. We're going to talk about that. 526, Quentin Johnson is on the broadcast. Q, as we call him, is another kidney solution special. He is diabetic. He has a very unusual kidney story that we wish to share with you. On the 2nd of June, I have a recording that I did with Dr. Jonathan Barrett, Braatt, on IgA. There's a new medication. It's the first for IgA patients to help them slow the course of the disease and actually increase kidney function. So we're interested in you seeing that broadcast. I had to kind of catch him when he was available, but the broadcast replay is going to replay the 2nd of June. On the 9th of June, tentatively, we have Robert Chelsea scheduled for broadcast. You might have read about Robert. It's a little different. for us. Robert had a face transplant. So we're going to talk to him about that. On the 16th of June, if you're following Kidney Advocates at all, you know my good buddy John R. Brandon Braden is going to be on the broadcast. We're going to talk about all the things that he's up to. He's running his own organization now, a remarkable kidney advocate, and interesting stuff. Chelsea Roman is scheduled for the 7th of July. Should be an interesting broadcast. On the 14th of July, and this is tentative, Dr. Terry Watnick with the PKD Foundation. She is the winner of the 2023 Lillian Jean Kaplan International Prize for Advancement in the Understanding of PKD. Hopefully, we'll get Dr. Watnick on to talk to us about her research and some of her work. On the 4th of August, my good friend David Pruczynski is on. He's currently a dialysis patient. He's seeking a kidney transplant. He's another Kidney Solutions guy. Wow, David is coming on real fast. You can tell he's going to be an awesome kidney advocate, and love talking to him. You're going to see what that's all about when we do the broadcast on the 4th. Nira Dahl PhD broadcast is on the 11th of August. Dr. Dahl is a PKD expert. I met her at the PKD stakeholder event. We're going to talk a little bit about her research work and her experiences with the PKD Foundation. On the 18th of August, Helene and Gregory McNamee are on the broadcast. Gregory is a kidney patient. He's seeking a kidney transplant. Helene's his mom. We're going to talk about the things that they're doing to try and find a kidney. So lots of interesting stuff coming up. So please, you want to watch this space. And to all of our friends that are watching tonight, I see Valita Martin joined us. I'm sorry I didn't get to you, Valita. She's praying for Isaiah. Thank you very much. And Cody Alan Drake is telling me that he's getting put on the transplant list very soon. Cody, best of luck to you, man. Let me know what's going on, buddy. I'd love to keep up. Okay. So anyway, you guys have a very good night. I appreciate you stopping and checking out the broadcast. Tell your friends that there's an instant replay. It's going to play in perpetuity. Be pushing it real hard this next week. So if you missed the broadcast or you have friends that missed the broadcast, let them know that there will be an instant replay. And I will see you next week. And as my friend Kent Bressler always says, keep breathing, my friends.